4 on the shot clock. Falling away, Tatum, short. Smart comes up with the ball, but couldn't hold on. Everybody diving on the floor. Curry comes up with it.
As they were diving for loose balls.
Let's take a moment to appreciate the fact that Steph Curry is from another planet. When Horford landed on his leg, I thought he was done. He bounces back the next game and gives us an iconic performance that should silence even the biggest of haters. 43 points, 10 rebounds, versus yet another defense that knows exactly what he's capable of doing once he gets going. I don't think that I need to remind anybody what the Celtics defense has been able to do to stars throughout this postseason. The attention and impact that Steph has is a big reason I've never taken the whole Finals MVP argument seriously. Steph's presence on the floor is a present, just as Draymond. While we're on the topic of Draymond though, I want to talk about this anti-Draymond propaganda that has been spreading at a crazy rate. I think that this whole situation could not be more hysterical for the simple reason that Draymond is uber confident and not only able to respond to, but also own any media criticism that he may get. Also, this guy has a freaking podcast that he wastes no time dropping. I tweeted out yesterday that kids of the future are going to be saying that LeBron went up against podcasters to discredit him as a joke. And the crazy thing is, they really might say that. If a former NBA player in JJ Redick is able to go on ESPN and call players of the past plumbers, what's going to stop kids from pulling out the podcast card? But on a serious note, somehow Draymond's podcasting has started an entertaining but weird narrative of its own that we have to discuss. As a matter of fact, we have a bunch to talk about, but before we go any further, let's get a word from our sponsor. Guys, I want to give a major shout out to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. They definitely came in the clutch. So if you guys can tell what Raycon was already, they're basically the best earbuds on the market. Their everyday earbuds look, feel, and sound better than ever. With optimized gel tips for the perfect in-ear fit, these earbuds are so comfortable and they don't budge, trust me. What I really love is the versatility of Raycon. I'm able to wear these while I get shots up and not miss a beat. I could enter my own world with their noise isolation feature, or I could stay alert with their awareness mode and hear everything that's going on around me. Actually, I think somebody's calling me right now. Now, if everything I said already wasn't enough, you also get 8 hours of playtime and a 32-hour battery life. They also offer wireless charging. You get this high-quality audio at half the price of other premium brands. I mean, I guess that's why they have over 49,000 5-star reviews. If you click the link in the description box or go to buyraycon.com/decoup, not only do you get 15% off of your Raycon purchase, but you also support my channel. Once again, guys, I want to give a major shout out to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. Let's be honest, Draymond's play throughout the early half of the series hasn't been ideal. I think that's something that we can all admit. I mean, you know things are bad when Draymond is playing defense at a below average clip, and even his mom is getting in on the criticism. After game 4, she said, "Please stop asking me what's wrong with Dre. I don't know. Maybe this is a clone. Where is the Draymond that helped us get here? I have never seen this either." Of course, she also had his back like she always does, saying that people act like he wasn't a big part of us getting here. I'd like to add that I used the word criticism pretty loosely. While her remarks were kind-hearted and fun, on the more serious side of things, I've been shocked by Draymond's play, only because I've come to expect so much out of him. Draymond, when he's playing at his highest level, can absolutely disrupt a game without scoring a basket. He defends multiple positions, can be the backbone of a defense, and he also takes full advantage of Steph's gravity and playing with talent. Fortunately for the Golden State Warriors, they may not need Draymond to be his 2016 Game 7 self. The game where he dropped 32 points, 15 rebounds, 9 assists, and 2 steals. He doesn't have to play at that level for the Golden State Warriors to win this series. The Warriors just need Draymond to be a threat. Again, I'm not talking about him scoring some insane amount of points. I'm just saying that he has to be a threat even when he doesn't have the ball in his hands. As great as Draymond is, there have been some plays in the series where the Celtics just don't account for him. If you let Rob Williams sit back and wreak havoc, he will. I mean, we've seen it before, even in this series. One of the most dangerous things in basketball is a shot blocker that has the ability to roam. If Draymond's not giving you anything on the offensive end, and his defense isn't impacting the game in a positive way, and you're not grabbing the boards that you feel like you should be grabbing, then he can become a liability even if he is one of the Warriors' vocal leaders. According to Kevin O'Connor, as of June 9th, Draymond was allowing 1.24 points per play while being the direct defender, the worst of any playoff series for him since the 2013-2014 season. Draymond's play reached a point during Game 4 where Kerr thought it would be the move to, quote, bench him. Kerr would later reveal that he was going offense for defense, but at the time this would still tick Draymond off. Via his podcast, he said that his teammates held them down during this time, and most importantly, they got the win, which was all that mattered. Kerr also said that he doesn't want any players that aren't mad when they get benched. Now, I don't know about you guys, but like any normal basketball fan, I admittedly watch the occasional basketball podcast for insights, stories, whatever. I even used to have my own, which unfortunately came to an end. I'm going to miss you, Laced Up. Anyways, that's beside the point. I'm a normal guy. I'm not competing in the NBA Finals. That's what I'm trying to get at here. Like Draymond Green is. I'm not competing in the NBA Finals like Draymond Green is, who currently has a podcast and is competing in the NBA Finals. I'm sorry I'm struggling to get this whole thing out because it's still a bit crazy to me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, it's just different. And different can be good. The media has been trying to push this narrative that Draymond is not only not focused on the playoffs because of his podcast, but also that he is tipping the Golden State Warriors' hand by podcasting so quickly after games. I want to know what you guys think about this down in the comments below.
Draymond, I'm not saying it's why you struggled tonight by any means, but I found listening to your podcast recaps the last couple of games pretty interesting. Are you conscious at all of what you're saying about the X's and O's, the game plans, the adjustments could be making their way back to Boston staffers and influencing their decision making at all?
No. I don't say much different on the podcast than I say to you right here. So, nah. What's the X's and O's that I said on the podcast? You all right?
Yeah, actually, the only real thing I noticed that like really stood out, you talked about how to cover White, Smart, and Horford differently between games 1 and 2. That was really only.
Oh yeah, that was just contesting shots. That if that's X's and O's, then you reaching for something. It's all good though. Keep going. Reaching heavy. The only thing you find that they are taking X's and O's away from your podcast. Well, the only thing you said is White, Smart, and Horford.
I'm not trying to blow it up.
I mean, you went for it, but
yeah.
Hey, respect. Appreciate the podcast promo you just gave me, though. The Draymond Green show. Next time, just mention it that way.
You got it.
All right, bet.
I don't know who needs to hear this, and I don't know if this really adds or takes away from anything, but Draymond said the way I view my podcast is that I'm operating a business, so it's something that I take as serious as I do basketball. When Kerr was asked about Draymond's pod tipping their hand, he said, I don't listen to the podcast, so I don't know what he said on there. It doesn't bother me. It's 2022, it's a different world, so it's, players are a part of the media there. In my opinion, this was a great response from Steve Kerr. Now, if I was a coach, I'd probably listen to the podcast just out of curiosity, but I mean, Kerr is right, and Dre was on the money with his response as usual. Do you guys think that we'll see more active players start the podcast as time goes on? And I'm not just talking about like podcasting after the season, I'm talking about doing what Draymond is doing. I think there are going to be a lot of Warriors fans that are mad at me, not because of anything that I said about Draymond. I made it pretty clear that I support Draymond, and I think that he's bouncing back really soon. I think that they're going to be mad at me because I really didn't go in depth on Wiggins or Clay in this video, and also I didn't talk about Poole, who now has crazy narratives surrounding him too, but I promise all of that is going to change coming soon. Seriously, we have to talk about Wiggins and Curry combining for 26 boards in Game 4. I really couldn't be happier for Wiggins. And Celtics fans, don't worry, I got you guys too. I'm probably one of the biggest Jaylen Brown fans on the planet, but we're going to save that for my Celtics video. Let me know what you guys think of everything down in the comments below. A lot of dedicated videos coming soon. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Get Like Coop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.